Right now, it's time for the home of the anti-hot take. Take so cold that they're going to leave you feeling like you've just had a thumbs up emoji from Stephen Donnelly. It's time for Cold Cuts.
I am flabbergasted. Maguire. And De Gea. Shocking. I'm disgusted. Maguire. And De Gea. Get close to people. Move your feet. Move your feet. Maguire. And De Gea. I am flabbergasted. I'm not too happy with all that, no. Maguire. I would be swinging punches at that guy. De Gea. Swinging punch, swinging punch, swinging punch, swinging punch. Maguire. And De Gea. I'm fuming here watching this game of football.
All right, it's Cold Cuts. In at number 4 this week, it's the Burnley manager Sean Dyche, who got desperately sidetracked at his press conference during the week. A reporter suggesting that he looked like Mick Hucknall, and away it went.
No, we're not. We're raising ourselves to looky likeys. Looky likeys make the world go. Have you never sat in a pub? Well, although that seems like a distant memory, with your mates and just found looky likeys in the pub. It's one of the best bits of fun you'll ever have in a night. Trust me, just do it. The next time you're allowed in a pub, sit with some friends. You're probably only allowed 3, but anyway, sit with some friends or something, and just look for looky likeys. Brilliant fun.
That is Sean Dyche from his press conference this week. He does paint, to be fair to him, quite the picture of a night in the town with the Dyche.
On holiday is brilliant. It's a brilliant family game. Looky likeys on holiday. You get your kids at it. Once they're of an age, fantastic fun. Because then people nudge each other and they do that thing where they go, "Oh, Dad, I've got one. Look, over there, left." And they go, "Bungle." It's go, "What? How do you even know bungle?" You know what I mean?
But then they become that for the whole holiday, don't they?
Yeah. So as soon as you see them and you... Yeah. So then every night you're at a restaurant, you nudge him and go, "Look, Bungle's in again. There's Bungle."
Brilliant,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't been out in a night out and thought, oi, that guy looks like a 6-foot TV bear from the 80s. Okay, clip 3 from Sean Dyche before we move on to number 3. And anyway, he's a serious manager, as we all know. He has a serious job in his hands, and there's literally nothing that's going to distract Sean Dyche from keeping Burnley in the Premier League. Absolutely nothing.
Right, come on, Alex. Let's bring us back to normality. It's flatliners again.
I've got some boring
this lockdown
questions.
period, I'm already like this. Oh, God. Come on, Alex. Let's do your job properly and let's ask me a really inane question and I'll answer.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's your job. It's all right. And my job's to answer, so crack on. Hang on, there's a cat. Hang on, there's a cat. I can't concentrate. There's a cat. And I was going to use the other word, but then everyone will start laughing. I know, everyone will start laughing if I use the other word, so I had to call it a cat. Because if I use the other word, everyone will laugh, and then we go, ha, and I go, what? It's just a word. It's only a word. And then they go, look at the age of you all. And they go, yeah, but it's still a funny word. You know what I mean? And then they go, and then it just goes pear-shaped from now on in. So I'm going to call it a cat. All right, just to be clear, Dan.
That was crunchy, by the way.
I think, yeah, I look like him. Is that not a cat I look like? Because he's ginger.
Yes.
So I look
you
like
and this cat, never seen in the same room before.
See, this is great fun now. We're all having great fun. That's it. Just from a cat. And the other word that we're not allowed to say, but everyone's now thinking it. It's just great fun. That word alone is worth thinking about and making yourself laugh. See, lockdown's so boring, we're now laughing at cats. But not the other thing.
Yeah, well, look at least it all worked out against Manchester City in the end. Owen, you're a big fan of Sean Dyche's humour?
I just want to apologise to everybody this morning for the image of Bungle we put on screen. People of a similar vintage to myself will only be becoming familiar with Bungle this morning. Jesus, this thing is terrifying. I'm going through Google Images right now. Oh my God, this is way too early to be bringing this sort of creep up on screen. This is the most freaky thing that's ever been created for children's television, and no one comes close. This is horrifying. This is the start of a Stephen King novel, this guy Bungle. This is not a good morning.
I was fairly certain he meant Zippy before I googled it, I have to say, but Bungle, there we go. Right, in at number 3 this week, it's some intergenerational baiting right here on OTB AM.
So that punishment will deliver winners. And like, you remember Tetris when you played it on the Game Boy and you have that moment where you have that Tetris and that sound? That is going to be the sound very shortly when I tip winners on Virtual Insanity, because I will actually go insane if I don't start tipping winners shortly.
Can I just ask Owen, do you know what a Game Boy is?
Owen, you've been waiting about 10 days to have a chirp back at Ger, so the floor is yours.
I'm just sick of this. Absolutely sick of this. The patronising, the back in my day, I'm on my high horse because I was born whatever 50 years before you sort of nonsense that goes on in the show. Do you know what a Game Boy is? Like, are you actually for real? I was deeply offended, and I'm glad I've had the last laugh.
That's definitely what's happened here. In at number 2 on Cold Cuts this week, for the second week running, we're back to the centre of global smart sport. Smart thinking in the NFL. It's very smart.
Next thing that's very important to me is that we build a smart football team, that we have a smart football team here. And I know we have the people in place to do that. The first part of that, the first part of being smart is knowing what to do. We're gonna have systems in place that are easier to learn. All right, complicated to the defense or offense that they're going against, or the special teams group they're going against, but easy for us to learn. Because when we can when we can learn our system and we can get good at our system, then our talent can take over. Less thinking equals talent take over, but we need to have systems in place, and we will have systems in place to do so.
Yes, it is smart, and it's simple, and you just need systems, and it's all very, very confusing, but smart, and also really simple.
Less thinking equals talent takeover. Less thinking equals talent takeover is the takeaway.
Oh, I was confused by it. Top of the charts this week is not Keys and Gray, but another deadly duo. It all kicked off on Monday's AM. Eoin and Ger tearing into Welsh rugby, withering commentary on the chances of our Celtic cousins in the Six Nations this year, that I'm sure has not been lost on our audience this morning. And at the speed of 2008 Shane Williams, Wales Online were on it in double quick time. Wales are just rubbish, and we're going to trash them. Irish pundits belittle Welsh team on air. It screamed from the virtual newspaper stall, and as you can see from the comment section, the entire population of Wales were pissed, and all of them had something to say. Every single one of them. Boy, were they seething. Take Leon Potter here, for example. Without the Welsh crowd, they're probably right. They seethed. Comment from Tomo: does anyone actually disagree with their assessment in their heart of hearts? It's most likely it will be an annihilation. Yeah, they were fuming. Can't disagree with them, said Biggest Dickus. And Bort here, who said, well, they're not exactly wrong. It's actually refreshing to see pundits be honest in their assessment, as Eoin and Ger continue to be called pundits. Now, it's been a long 12 months for everybody, and yes, many people are saying things clearer and calmer, but you'll be comforted to know, dear viewer, this morning that there is still a beating heart of Welsh pride. There's still a song in the valley. The Six Nations has not yet begun, but there's clearly a concern that the wooden spoon is going to be theirs this year. So they're lashing out, like Chelmsford Taff here, who eases us in by saying we're the new English. What an insult. Pip sad, come out in the open and shoot your mouth off, you gutless nerds. There's literally nothing worse in 2021 than the faceless keyboard warriors taking pot shots from their bunkers. Facebook, you would think, should take a look into that. More truth bombs from Camillus. 2 Irish pundits, in inverted commas, are just 2 planks looking for attention and picked up by Wales Online as easy clickbait. Now, hang on a second here, Camillus. What is it about this sports broadcast that makes you think we're actually looking for an audience? Let's see what your Paddy Me money is on Wales, says Alan Duke, who's either a former Minister for Justice or a pissed up Pontypridd plank. And lastly, we save the best to last. This one is from Carlinho. Ger Gilroy and Eoin Sheahan, he asks, having the gall, Carlinho, to spell Owen's name correctly. I wouldn't know them from a bar of soap.
Yeah, God, that's a tough one to see now from Carlinho. Gutless nerds definitely gets to me as well, and my tail will be between my legs now for the next couple of days after hearing that. As damaging to my psyche hearing all this as looking through Google Images at Bungle Bear this morning, that's for sure.
You've annoyed them, and that's this week's Cold Cuts.